habits that you can learn in the military that are not healthy. But I was thinking the other day about what habits I picked up since joining the military that have kept me pretty healthy in 17 years of service. I think the first one's going to be pretty obvious. It's the emphasis on physical fitness, physical toughness, endurance, mental toughness, those kinds of things. They instill in you from the very beginning, very first day of boot camp, this idea that you have to be fit, you have to be fitter than the enemy, or the enemy's going to win. So I think a lot of folks in the military have just a slightly different mindset about physical fitness, in that our fitness is linked to our survivability in a lot of ways when we're in combat. So being fit and pushing yourself to the limit is really, really important. So important it might save your life. So just having that mindset from the beginning really helps whenever you're, oh, I don't feel like working out, or you're feeling tired on a run or something like that. You think about, well, it's really important that I be able to push through things like this, because in combat I might have to. The next thing is warm-ups. And you don't really think about it too much, but we do warm-ups before every PT session. And a lot of the time we'll do stretching and cool down as well. So having that beginning way to warm your body up to get ready for the physical activity, and then that way to cool your body down and stretch at the end, really important for injury prevention and like the longevity of your joints. But also muscle performance is enhanced whenever the muscles have a bigger range of motion without snapping real bad. Another thing the military has helped me with is not overeating. Let me provide some context, because I certainly overeat from time to time. But when I know that later on that day I'm going to be doing a hike, I'm going to be doing a ruck run, I'm going to be doing a run or a HIIT session, I tend to eat till I'm about half to 3/4 of the way full, rather than eat till I'm absolutely overstuffed to the brim. And that kind of helps me gauge, okay, this is how much food I need to fuel me for the activity, but I don't need so much fuel that I'm gonna freaking barf during the activity. And this happened in boot camp. Like, we were told, hey, eat, but we're gonna run you right after. Like, immediately after you leave the chow hall, you're going to be jogging or running back to the squad bay. So we kind of learn through trial and error to not overeat at every single mealtime, to eat till you're about half full, maybe 3/4 of the way full, and then cut it off at that point. Another thing that I don't think a lot of people think about, because they see it as an annoyance, in the military, you have to go and get an annual checkup, and you have to go and get your teeth cleaned annually. So they foster this mentality of getting yourself checked. Like, we do an HIV test, we get our flu shots, we get a checkup, they check our blood pressure, they do our dental work and cleanings once a year. So the military has built into me this like sense of, it's been about 11 months since I've gotten a checkup, or since I went and had this test done. I should go do that. And it helps you kind of stay on top of your health, helps you just get a little service check, see if all the bells and knobs and whistles are all in the right place and they're all tightened down, still working the way they should be. Another one that might be kind of surprising is fitness test scores. So in the Marine Corps, we have 2 fitness tests. We take one in the first half of the year and the other one in the second half. And for a lot of Marines, what score you get on those tests is a point of pride. So there's this like unspoken bragging right that you can gain from getting a high score or a perfect score on those tests. So it kind of fosters this sense of competitiveness, not just with other Marines and the scoring system, but with yourself. Like, can I do better than I did last year? And I think that really helps a lot of people really push themselves and do their best and try to maintain, the same level of fitness throughout the year, so that they can build upon what they did last year. to get a better score this year. Now this next idea is not going to be popular, but I understand that the military is not a bastion of satisfactory mental health. But what I will say is that I am much more resilient to stress and overcoming obstacles than I was prior to the military. Got a hill, hold on. Oh, there's another one, cool. And another thing I would note is that mental health resources are much more widely available now than when I first joined. And service members, at least in my experience, are much more highly encouraged to go seek the mental health treatment or mental health help, because we understand that mental health is very, very directly linked to physical and job performance. We want mentally healthy people operating the millions of dollars of equipment, operating the dangerous weapons, operating our pain retention systems. From someone who has been down and out a couple times in the last couple years with my mental health, I can definitely say that my job performance and gym performance suffered because of that. Completely unrelated. Last week I went to Washington, D.C. to go to Modern Day Marine. It's like this big expo where they show off a bunch of cool tech and gear and stuff and systems. But I realized immediately upon entering the city that that is just not for me. And I knew that, but this was even more evidence that I am not meant for city life. I'm meant for this. Shit is dope. Nature was here before us. Nature will be here long after we're gone. Nature doesn't care. My favorite thing about nature, now that I'm out of it, is that regardless of how violent or terrifying or savage it can be, nature's not evil. There's no evil intent. It's just survival. And I like that.